He was a lone cowboy, until his daughters brought home a beautiful Apache woman. The cowboy had lived in silence for years, doing his best to raise his two daughters while carrying the weight of losing his wife. His days were spent fixing fences, tending cattle, and keeping the ranch running with the kind of determination born from heartbreak. Emily and Rose, his little girls, brought light into the house, but even their laughter couldn't erase the emptiness that lingered around him. He loved them fiercely, yet he often felt like he was moving through life half awake, surviving rather than living. That quiet, predictable routine changed the day the girls wandered farther into the fields than usual. Emily was the first to spot something unusual, bright beadwork shimmering in the grass. The girls slowed, discovering an Apache woman kneeling beside a horse that had stumbled. She was tall and strong, with braids that framed her face and a feather woven into her hair. Her traditional beaded clothing contrasted beautifully against the plain landscape. Rose stepped forward, her voice shaking slightly, asking if the woman was hurt. The woman lifted her gaze gently, explaining that she was fine but her horse needed rest. Her voice carried calm strength, and the girls felt drawn to her immediately. When she introduced herself as Naya, the girls responded with immediate trust. Emily offered her water, while Rose helped soothe the tired animal. It wasn't long before the girls pleaded for her to come back to their ranch to rest. Naya hesitated, knowing the complicated history between settlers and her tribe. But kindness from children had its own undeniable power. She agreed to walk with them, though a part of her remained cautious. The cowboy, repairing the barn door, looked up when he heard footsteps. His heart tightened when he saw his daughters returning with a stranger, a tall Apache woman holding their hands. Instinctively, he stepped into their path, protective and stern, but Naya didn't react with fear or defensiveness. She stood tall, calm, her posture steady, the girls clinging to her sides with utter trust. Emily hurried forward, explaining breathlessly how Naya needed a place to rest. The cowboy's gaze softened when he looked at his daughters, but his eyes sharpened again when they moved back to Naya. She spoke respectfully, explaining why she was alone and how the girls had offered help. Her honesty was clear in her voice, and the cowboy, who had long learned to read people, knew she meant no harm. Still, caution held him firmly, shaped by years of hardship and the responsibility of protecting his daughters. After a long moment, he nodded, giving her permission to stay temporarily. Something in her presence felt steady, a quiet strength he couldn't ignore. As the afternoon passed, Naya helped the girls gather, water, and listen to their endless chatter, with more patience than he had seen in anyone in years. She braided their hair and taught them a simple game from her tribe. The cowboy watched silently, arms crossed, trying not to show the curiosity growing inside him. Her movements were precise, graceful, and gentle. She blended fierceness and compassion in a way he rarely witnessed. By evening, the girls begged him to let Naya stay the night. He agreed, not because they asked, but because something inside told him her arrival wasn't coincidence. And truly it felt as though the air around the ranch had shifted from the moment she stepped onto the land. Naya thanked him quietly, and as he walked away, he felt something unfamiliar settling in his chest. That night, the house felt different. Naya slept near the barn. The girls insisted on leaving a lantern lit for her, and the cowboy found himself staring out the window longer than necessary. He tried to make sense of why her presence lingered in his thoughts, why the silence didn't feel as sharp, why the loneliness didn't press so heavily against him. He realized as he stood there, looking into the soft glow outside, that Naya had brought something with her the moment she arrived. Not noise, not disruption, but a gentle shift in the silence he had lived with for so long. And for the first time in years, he wondered if life might be offering him something unexpected, something he hadn't dared hope for. Before sunrise, Naya was already awake, tending to her horse with quiet efficiency. The cowboy noticed her through the window as he prepared breakfast. She moved with purpose, every gesture calm and practiced. His daughters woke soon after and ran outside without hesitation. Calling her name, Naya greeted them gently, fixing their messy hair into neat braids. Watching her with them stirred something deep inside the cowboy, something he struggled to define. Later, he approached her more openly than the day before. He asked where she planned to travel next, if she needed anything, and if her horse would recover soon. Naya answered honestly. She had no exact destination yet, only a mission. She hoped to find land where her small remaining community could settle peacefully. Her determination impressed him. She carried her history with quiet dignity, her words honest, her intentions clear. Throughout the day, Naya helped without being asked. She repaired a latch on the chicken coop, showed the girls how to identify different tracks in the dirt, and taught them small bead-weaving techniques. The girls were completely enchanted. Their confidence grew with every lesson she gave. When Emily struggled, Naya guided her hands gently until she succeeded. When Rose became scared by the rustle of grass, Naya calmly explained what caused it. Her patience didn't falter once. The cowboy found himself watching her more than he intended. There was something grounding about her presence. She wasn't trying to impress anyone, yet everything she did carried meaning. He shared parts of his life he didn't normally talk about. Building the ranch, surviving hardships, raising the girls alone. Naya listened with genuine interest, offering understanding rather than sympathy. She shared stories from her tribe, memories of resilience, lessons from her parents, and the customs she held dearly. In the afternoon, the girls begged Naya to take them into the field to track rabbits. The cowboy followed at a distance, observing the way she moved with quiet confidence. How naturally the girls mirrored her calm energy. He felt a warmth spreading. Through him, something he hadn't allowed himself to feel in years. She wasn't replacing anyone. She was simply filling a space he didn't realize had been empty. As evening approached, he surprised even himself when he invited her to share dinner inside the house. She accepted with a respectful nod. The meal was simple, but the atmosphere felt new. The girls talked non-stop about everything she had taught them. Naya listened with a soft smile, and the cowboy found himself watching her more than the food. The house felt alive again, not loud, not chaotic, but warm. After dinner, Naya stepped outside to gaze at the stars. The cowboy joined her silently. They stood together without needing conversation. For once, silence didn't hurt. It felt peaceful. When she finally turned toward him, lantern light reflecting in her eyes, he saw something he couldn't explain. A reflection of his own longing, his own hope, something he thought he had buried permanently. In that quiet moment, the truth settled over him like a gentle revelation. His daughters hadn't just brought home a traveler. They had brought home the possibility of healing, of connection, of a future he never thought could exist again. And for the first time in years, the cowboy didn't feel alone. If this tale stirred your heart, saddle up and subscribe. More legends like this are riding your way soon.